Hello, everyone. My name is Dean Oboh. Eurore Oboh is my name, and I am the Dean of Admissions and Enrollment Management over at William H. Bowen School of Law in Little Rock, Arkansas. As you can see here, I'm here today just to share with you a couple things about our school. And I hope that you find this informative. And of course, if you have any questions, you can feel free to reach out to me. Um, your pre-law advisor has my contact information, but I'll also go ahead and put it in the chat now before I forget. All right, so moving on. Here. So as the name suggests, we are located in Little Rock. We are a part of the University of Arkansas at Little Rock. And this is our campus. This is our school. We are located about 15 minutes away from the main campus. So everything you see here, this is entirely for law students. So we're the home to law students, and our library is located here. Everything is located centrally here for our law students. Of course, some student services that our students will use, such as financial aid, maybe even some counseling services. Those will be located on main campus, but all of the benefits that the undergraduate students receive are available to our law students as well. Our motto here at Bowen is access to justice, professionalism, and public service. That is our mission, that is our goal in educating our students. And being here in Little Rock, we want to ensure that we are providing our Kansans with access to justice, and also access to justice, meaning for those who want to become a part of this profession, finding a way for them to get the education that they need to be able to provide justice services to those who are in need. Some things about Little Rock here, I won't read all of it. You can certainly see it for yourself. But I do enjoy living in Little Rock. A little bit about me, I'm actually from New Jersey, and I am a 2016 graduate of Bowen. I'm from Newark, New Jersey, which is about 20 minutes from New York City. So I'm definitely out of my comfort zone. A lot more noise in the New York area, a lot more pollution, I would say. A lot more not so smelly good things in the atmosphere. And so those are some of the reasons why I decided to come on down to Little Rock for my legal education. I wanted a place where I could focus on my studies, a place where I found it affordable to live. I did not want to have competing priorities with my education in terms of how I would, pay for my rent and transportation needs and all these other things. And so I find that living and going to school in Little Rock certainly helps with just alleviating all those other outside stressors that law students can come up can come up against while they're trying to get through law school. A little bit more about Little Rock. Certainly, law school is not just all about studying, it's about being a well balanced person because once you graduate from law school, you will then become a part of the legal profession. And so you want to be sure that you are a well balanced legal professional, whether you decide to practice as an attorney, whether you decide to use your JD in an alternative career or a JD advantage position. It's all about learning how to be well balanced while you're in school. So certainly we encourage our students to engage in other things while they're in school, just keep themselves well grounded and to be able to, what I'd like to say, to be able to transition back into society. And I say that because there were times in my 1L year where I just kind of totally forgot how to hold a conversation. And I don't say that to scare you, but I say that to let you know that you will be spending a lot of time studying, but it is important for you to get away from the library, get away from the books, and remember what it's like to have a life outside of law school as well. So there are a number of different things that you can do here in Little Rock. Of course, this is not an exhaustive list. This is just some of the things that I enjoy doing and that piqued my interest, and I thought you would probably also find interesting as well. And here are some of our rankings. Just a highlight of some of the things that we are well known for, that we have been recognized for over the years, and some of the things where we put most of our focus uh, in, in, in order to fulfill our call and our mission for professionalism, public service, and access to justice. We do have a full-time division as well as a part-time division. Our full-time division students, specifically for the 1Ls, will be taking classes Monday through Friday, typically from about 10 a.m. to about 3 p.m. or 4 p.m. or so. Of course, there is a break in there. We don't expect them to go to class, for every hour. There is a lunch break in there. Our full-time students, the tuition, as you can see here, is very, very reasonable. I think so. I think in this day and age, it's very difficult to even find undergraduate institutions that have a tuition for that price. And so we really are an affordable institution because, again, we believe in access to justice. And so this is one way that we are putting forth our mission, is by ensuring that we are providing high quality legal education for a low cost, so that people who want to become a part of this work are not impeded by high tuition dollars and things of that sort. The part-time students in the 1L class typically take class from Monday through Thursday, starting about 5:45 until about 9:25. Of course, they're taking less credits than our full-time students are taking. And their tuition is going to be based per hour. And so I do want to mention, you see something there about the non-resident tuition per hour. Our non-resident students are offered a non-resident scholarship when they are admitted. And so that scholarship is good for the duration of their 1L year, and it is renewable for the 2L and 3L years. So that means that any out-of-state students that are admitted and enroll at, well, I should say admitted, will be offered a scholarship. And if they are enrolled, they choose to come here, they will be paying in-state tuition. And that can continue so long as they become an Arkansas resident and request to have that scholarship renewed for the 2L and 3L years. Although our tuition is quite affordable, we do still offer merit-based scholarships. Again, anything that we can do to assist our students in meeting that goal of access to justice, we want to be able to do that. So the merit scholarships are things that we offer to admitted students once they are coming in as 1Ls. And we offer merit scholarships all the way up to full tuition. That's typically for our Bowen Fellowship early admission program, and the deadline for that was January 1st. And so once the application opens up again this year on October 1st, the deadline for this program will be done January 1st of 2022. And so our merit scholarships are offered in increments of 25%. And so they after full tuition, they can go up to 75%, then 50% and 25%. I previously just mentioned the non-resident scholarships. Those are offered to students in addition to the merit scholarship. So if you are an out-of-state student and you are interested in Bowen and your LSAT score and your GPA are where they need to be, are quite competitive, it is likely that you will be offered a merit scholarship as well as a non-resident scholarship. And I will say that's something that that was the main thing, I should say. One of the main things that really attracted me to Bowen, and the reason why I decided to enroll at Bowen, is because they offered me a merit scholarship as well as a non-resident scholarship. That was really, really helpful to me obtaining my JD. We offer public service merit scholarship. Yes, yes,
I'm
yes.
so sorry. So are there are there need-based scholarships? I think that's a concern that many have. Are there need-based scholarships and or scholarship opportunities for those individuals who don't qualify for federal aid?
That's a great question. So I want to make sure that I'm making this clear, what I'm about to say. So at the point of admission, so for students coming in, we do not offer need-based scholarships or scholarships for people who are unable to receive financial aid. Of course, financial aid is something separate, and that's something that is handled by the undergraduate financial aid office. So they may be able to better assist students with finding other ways of getting financial aid. So the merit scholarships, that's going to be based solely upon the strength of the LSAT score and the undergraduate GPA, whereas the non-resident scholarships, that's just solely based upon residency. However, once a student does come to Bowen, enrolls at Bowen, as soon as they become a 1L, they then have the opportunity to apply for our private scholarships. Our private scholarships are funded by donors. Some of them are alumni. Some of them are members of the Arkansas Bar Association, on and on and on. And our private scholarships, the application opens up every semester, and every student is really encouraged to apply. Some of those scholarships are going to be sort of need-based. Of course, some of them will ask for things like your LSAT, your law school GPA, what type of law it is you want to practice. But some of those scholarships, they understand that students have needs, and so that may be a requirement actually for consideration to be awarded that scholarship. So a student may come in with a scholarship and can still apply for those private scholarships. They're not going to be impeded from applying because they came in with a scholarship. Neither are they impeded from applying again if they've already received a private scholarship. Or a student may not come in with a scholarship, but still will have an opportunity to gain scholarships as they are matriculating through law school. I think the beauty about our tuition is that it is so affordable, and oftentimes people may even come in without a scholarship, but they're able to still get one as they're going through. So I hope that answers your question.
It absolutely did. Thank you.
Great. So we talked about scholarships. Let's talk a little bit about experiential learning, which for me, I just define it as learning through experience, hands-on training, hands-on learning is really what it is. And there are a number of different ways that our students and even our alumni are able to engage in that. Just because someone is an alumni doesn't mean that they stop learning. The law is ever changing, and so it's always about brushing up your skills and being up to date with what's going on and on and on like that. And so I'm going to start with our legal clinics. As you can see here, we have 7. And what the legal clinic is, it's housed in the law school. It's open to the community, and it's for free, really. It's just an opportunity for our students to represent people who are needing legal assistance in one of these areas. And they are supervised by their professors who serve as their supervising attorney. The legal clinics are a way for the students to get experience, but also to get credit. So it's a class, but it's also hands-on training. And the legal clinics are available to our students after their 1L year. The Rural Practice Incubator Project is available to our alumni. That's really for alumni who know that they want to open up their own law firm in a rural part of Arkansas. And so we will provide them with the supplies and resources that they need to be able to do that. The part-time practicum is an opportunity for our part-time students to also gain experiential learning. We know that a lot of them work during the day, and so we want to find a way to support them in getting the experience that they need. Public service and pro bono are opportunities, are just ways for our students to, of course, volunteer in the community, and it's also a great networking opportunity for them as well. The externships, that is sort of like a class. It is for credit. There is a class component where the students will come together on a weekly basis with their professor to discuss the different aspects of the nuances that they're seeing, I guess you want to say, on the job, really. And so some of the things that law students may not really consider while they're going through their case books and things like that. I don't want to say the emotional aspect of it, but more so the non-legal side of it, the ethical side of things, I'll say. That's the class component there. But a lot of our students are engaging in state courts, federal courts, nonprofit organizations, things like that. And so this is their opportunity to debrief about certain kind of cases or certain kind of issues that they've come up, that they've seen throughout the week. We also do offer 6 concurrent programs. So what this means is if a student is interested in also pursuing a master's degree while they're getting their JD, or in this last case, a doctor of pharmacy degree, they are able to do that, and they're able to save money and time because some of those classes will actually count both schools. So it definitely helps to just, get things going and save time, which is always a great thing to do. And it's really nice to see how the law intersects with other disciplines as well. We offer 20 course focuses for people who are wanting to study a specific area of law. It doesn't mean that you are graduating with some type of certificate or a degree that says you majored in this. There are no majors in law school. Everyone is majoring in the same thing, and everyone is pretty much graduating with the same degree. However, it is up to the student to sort of set themselves apart by either focusing on a particular field of law that they want to study and then demonstrate to future employers that they've taken a number of classes in this area of law, and also have completed a number of experiential learning opportunities in this area of law. It's a really good way to let your resume stand out to future employers. And it's a really good way to sort of just sharpen your skills in a particular area of law as well. So of course, we do want to support our students as they are going through, as they're coming into law school and as they're going through law school, and even after they are graduating. So some of the services that we provide is going to be academic advising. We do have student success teams, which are very much similar to study groups. First week is really just an orientation for our 1L so that they are getting acclimated to what law school is like. We also do have, I didn't include this, but the dean also has a summer program where she is teaching, it's a civics course really, so she is maybe teaching some people just the basics that they need to be able to get into law school and hit the ground running, or for some it's a refresher course. So that's something else that we offer to our admitted students before they come in as 1Ls. We offer them opportunities to interview on campus with local law firms through OCI's on-campus interviews. And we offer them a lot of mentorship and networking opportunities as well. In addition to, of course, the required curriculum, the foundation 1L courses and on like that, there are other opportunities for students to set themselves apart and get engaged in other areas of the law school through our co-curriculars, whether it be through our publications or through our trial team or through our moot court team, or by engaging in a study abroad program. We do offer 25 student organizations, just depending on different interest groups, different affinity groups, and on, because it is important for our students to remain social, and it's a great way for them to network and get to know one another as well. Our law library, serves as our county's law library. It's beautiful. It's about 5 floors, and it's just wonderfully organized. And our law faculty, our law staff, they are wonderful people. Currently, our law library is closed to the public, but you can take a look at it on our virtual tour. And we are offering curbside services. So that's something that perhaps you're watching this and you're in Little Rock right now and there's something that you need, you can definitely contact our library and they will assist you as best they can. And here at the bottom is just some other things that we are doing in Little Rock and beyond. Some of the things that we think help to facilitate our mission of public service, access to justice, and professionalism as well. Here is just a general overview of our admissions process, including the things that are required for our application, as well as the things that are not. And so this hopefully is helpful to you in just understanding what it is that is needed for your application. And on the right side here, this is just an overview of some of the events that we offer to pre-law students so that they are better prepared to submit a well-rounded, robust application. And so there are different things that we're doing. Every month we have a webinar, and there are different, events and uh, resources that we offer to you. So definitely feel free to check that out on our website and request our pre-law resource guides there. And finally, just an overview of 2020's 1L class. As you can see here, our acceptance rate is at 50.5. So even though we had that whole pandemic and are still kind of living in it, thankfully our numbers did not decrease. A lot of students, a lot of prospects and admitted students were still very much interested in moving forward with going to school. And I think it's also because we did sort of shift to a virtual environment where we gave our students the option of taking classes online because we understand there may be health concerns and safety concerns, not just for our students, but also for the faculty as well. And I think quite a number of our students took us up on that offer and decided to move forward with their education, much to our happiness, really. We want to ensure that our students are in a safe learning environment. And if that means for them being at home, then that's certainly something that we want to encourage and support. An overview of their academic profile and what our numbers look like for the LSAT as well as the GPA. And finally, a demographical overview of where our students are coming from and what they are like. And now I will take some questions.
What do you think are the most attractive attributes of the campus? I mean, assuming everybody's going to be going back to campus in the next school year, what would you say is the most attractive feature of the campus?
Free parking. I think free parking is amazing. And what I was going to say before free parking popped into my head was I think being sort of away from main campus really is attractive in that some of the, I guess, I don't want to call undergraduate students distractions, but some of the transportation distractions, having to get to that side of town, things like that, those are removed uh, by where we are located. We're located downtown. We're located pretty much centrally downtown. We're not very far from from the Capitol itself, from a lot of the courts here. We're not very far away from President Clinton's school and his library. There are a lot of nice places to eat around here. There are quite a number of apartment buildings and houses here as well. And so it really is just commuter friendly where we are located. And of course, as I mentioned, there is free parking. So I think it's really good to have a building where everything is located there for you, everything that you need in terms of your professors academically. You're not having to travel from one side of town to another side of town to get to class. If this was like New York, I'm not having to take the train to go uptown or downtown, whatever the case may be. I'm just, here and I know that this is where I need to be for the next couple of hours. So that's one less thing to stress about. What else can I say? I think having the clinic here is also really good because you're able to have the community come in. You're able to, when they are able to come in, right now they're not, you're able to engage with the community. So, with that, they're also able, with the students are also able to engage with the professors who oversee those clinics and get to hear from them and understand what those clinics are all about. We also do have a gym, facility center here, exercise center here on the top floor. So that's really neat. It's a really nice view. And I think that really just speaks to how we are wanting our students to be well balanced and well rounded. We very much value mental health here at the law school, and we want our students to not just graduate with the knowledge that they need to be able to practice or to be legal professionals, but also with the skills that they need to be able to manage whatever kind of stress is coming their way. So I think certainly having the health center upstairs is great. Having a little dining center here also is great. The option to either have your food delivered to you. Jimmy John's, they know us well. They could probably find you in the building, when you're actually in the building. So I think those are certainly some of the things that stand out about our campus.
Awesome. Okay, so the next question is threefold. um, but it's all stemming from one core subject. A lot of people will want to go to school in Arkansas, but want to come back to Texas. So, what does Arkansas do first to help students prepare for taking the bar exam in Texas, which we're no longer the Texas bar, we're now the UBE.
UBE?
Yeah. And as far as employment prospects for those who want to come and work in Texas, what networking opportunities are there? And then lastly, externship placements. What externship placements? Because I know you focused a little bit on experiential learning, but what opportunities lie for those people that want to come back to Texas for their mid-law school experience and then post-law school experience?
Those are great questions. So first, I will say that concerning the bar, after Arkansas, most of our bar takers do come from Texas. So, and I probably forgot to mention this, but it was on a slide. We do have a concurrent bar prep program for our students, I should say our graduates. And in that program, you can be anywhere in the country and taking any other state bar exam, but we will provide supplemental support to you. What I mean by supplemental support is if you're taking the Texas bar, our hope and our expectation is that you are going to purchase some type of bar program that will prepare you for that. So either Barbary, Kaplan, Themis, or any of the other ones that are out there. And so, the expectation is that you are doing the work through that program, but our concurrent program is going to provide you with additional support from our director of bar support. And so she's going to sort of walk with you as you are preparing, assist you with whatever questions it is you have about, the types of questions or the formatting and on and on and on. You mentioned that you're now, Texas is now a UBE state, as is Arkansas as well. So that's helpful because there's that understanding that both of these states have the same bar. And so that's one way that we support our graduates. Our introduction to bar skills is actually course is actually a graduate requirement right now, a graduation requirement right now. And so that's another way that we assist our students. We want to, of course, cultivate in them the understanding that the bar is important. Most of them realize that, but I think as you're sort of matriculating through, you kind of forget that. So the bar skills, introduction to bar skills course is something that we have made a requirement so that we're sure that every student has the basics that they need to take the bar exam wherever it is. So we're not sharing with them specific state questions or whatever, but we're going over, study skills and just a high level overview of what to expect from the bar, whether they're taking it in Arkansas or whether they're taking it in Texas. What else was I going to say about that? I think that's about it for the bar. We may also, oh, yes, we do have other courses as well that are bar tested courses. And that's something that we encourage our students to do, is not just simply to focus on the areas of law that interest them, but to drill down and to also hone in on bar skills courses so that they're prepared and they don't feel like no one ever taught them the things that they need for those subject areas. For people who are wanting to go back to Texas, you mentioned in your question about externships. So all of our externships right now are based solely in Arkansas, and typically the externships are completed either in the spring or the fall. So certainly, we're not going to exclude students from other states from engaging in our externships, but over the summer, it really is a great opportunity, particularly if you're not taking summer courses, to go back to whatever state it is that you're interested in, and engaging in some type of clerkship opportunity or externship opportunity over the summer. And our Career Services Office can assist with helping you find some type of clerkship over the summer that may be of interest to you. And so by doing that, you're sort of really preparing yourself to uh, be situated where you can, have a network of people in Texas and have a network of people in Arkansas. And I think it's a great thing, not to say that, you don't want to stay in Texas. People, if a student knows for sure that they want to stay in Texas, that's great. But I think it's also a wonderful opportunity to have people in Arkansas that know of your work ethic and things like that in the event you are ever interested in perhaps, coming back to Arkansas or working on a case in Arkansas, or even finding a job in Texas. They may know some people in Texas who can help you with getting a job. Does that answer your question? Questions?
It yes, it does actually. Um, and I was trying to, so I feel like you basically wrapped all of that up in a nice neat bow. So the follow-up question really got answered in your response. I thought
Oh,
that you did a great job.
great, great, great.
Yes. Well, so I know we mentioned it a little earlier, but do you have any idea of the future of the law school and whether or not hybrid programs will be
Mhm.
available?
That's a great question. I was just about to say something I forgot to mention that we touched on earlier is that we are, of course, still taking the LSAT. Some people think that we are not because of what's going on with the pandemic, but we are. So moving forward in the future, we are still taking the LSAT right now, the LSAT Flex. And in terms of the future and programming and things like that. Right now, we're not certain what, you know, whether we're going to be fully online, things like that. Obviously, right now, with the way things are, people are wondering, people are interested in whether or not law schools will transition to an online world. Really, at the end of the day, there's a lot of uh, approval that is needed for a law school to go online. So you may find that some law schools want to move forward full steam ahead with getting that approval from the ABA, whereas some other law schools may feel like, that's maybe a bit much and may not work for what we have going on here. So for us right now, we're not really sure that that's something that we want to do in the future. We would like to have students back in the classes in the fall. We feel like it's better for them, it's better for their learning. We do miss having the students in the building as well and using our facilities. But certainly feel free to check back with us in the future and see if that's something that we have available. If the pandemic persists, of course, we're not going to force anyone to come back into the classes. We will maintain things as they are right now, but in a post-pandemic world, I think there are certainly some things that we have learned from this format that we may continue to use moving forward.
Well, I think that's perfectly well said. And I agree that there are opportunities for it, but it may
Mhm.
not be something that students would benefit as much from.
Right.
I do think there is something to be said from being on campus and having that face-to-face interaction and having that dialogue with the rest of the class. I don't
Right.
just the energy, it feels different.
Right. Right.
But you and I went to law school traditionally, so I think we're cheating
Right.
a little bit.
That's true. I'm not really sure what the virtual environment, the learning environment is for
Yes,
school. I know what it is for graduate school, but I can't really imagine what it's like for law school. But I think the students
yes.
are handling it wonderfully, given the circumstances.
Oh, absolutely. I think everybody's taking it with great stride. I
Right, right,
do
right.
know a lot of the students that I have now that are 1Ls and 2Ls um, that are going through this, they miss the classroom. They miss
Oh
it.
yeah.
So I think that should say something to prospective law students that,
Right.
even
Mhm.
though, this is a different world that we're living in, and for some honestly, for some students, they may thrive online.
Mhm.
Others,
That's
though, you know, it's time to go back to
true.
class.
And it's important for students to know that as well about them. Just because a law school does offer an online program, you really want to consider, is that going to be what's best for you?
Yes,
Because you may find that you need to be in class. It's great for networking. It really is. Not to say that you can't network virtually, but there's
it's not
just
the
something
same.
about being in the classroom and getting to, just feel the vibe of the room and, just build your network that way.
Right,
Mhm.
absolutely. Yeah, it's not the same. And I actually do, there there are people that I've spoken with that say that's the one biggest drawback is there's no real ability to network and get to know your classmates.
Right,
And
right,
one
right.
up here when you're trying to establish yourself, that's a challenge. But
Yeah, it is because with the class, with the virtual classroom, I assume that once the professor is done, he kind of just, unless he or she is hanging out for any kind of, virtual, what's it called now?
office
Uh,
hours.
Thank you, office hours or whatever. There's really no like space to sort of just hang out and get to ask your classmates any questions about, oh, what did you think about this case or whatever. So that part of things is missing, and it's important. It really is. It's a great way to connect with people. The law is not. You're not practicing law in an isolated environment. It's not in a vacuum. Even as a solo practitioner, you're going to need to depend on other people, whether it be your staff, whether it be the people at the courtroom where you're filing paperwork and on and on and on like that. You're still going to need to know how to engage with people in the legal community, and that's really where it begins is in law school.
Well, I am so grateful for your time, for this opportunity to hear about the program,
Thank
and
you.
I appreciate your personal touch on it because you not only kind of shared with us about the school and the program, but you gave us your personal experience. And so
Oh, well, thank
I'm
you.
grateful for that. Okay, so for everybody that wants to know, if you want to email their admissions office with any additional questions, and there are no bad questions, you reach out to lawadmissions@ualr.edu.
That is correct.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Dean
Thank
Oboh, and
you.
we're so thankful to have this opportunity.
You. Thank you.
I'm
Thank you.
going
Thank you.
to go ahead and say goodbye now, and we'll
All right.
end the recording.